Hello everybody, how is everybody doing? We've got some early birds in the house. Thanks for tuning in. I have to give credit to Thomas. Thomas from Greece was the first one in, and he was here actually 2 hours ago. So Thomas, you are a legend. 2 hours before the broadcast, I think you must be the earliest visitor or earliest subscriber, earliest someone who tuned to my live broadcast. And if you are new to my broadcast, of course, I'm Peter. I'm the guy behind the Ihatetomatoes channel, Ihatetomatoes blog, where I write tutorials about front end, creative front end, animations, GreenSock, anything to do with creative front end development. You can find it on Ihatetomatoes and Ihatetomatoes YouTube channel. And also, a few others said hi in the chat. So let me know in the chat if you just tuned in. Where are you tuning in from? Hi, John to India. Greetings to India. Today it's Thursday, 6:30 for me. So my day is finishing, and I guess for some of you in Europe and other parts in the world, the day might be just starting. So hello to Andy, to Manchester. Greetings, Andy. Hey, you are again here. Legend. Always tuning in. Great to see you, Andy. Hope you're doing well up in England. Stephen Sven from Germany, from Hamburg. Sven, greetings. Guten Morgen to Germany, to Hamburg. Thomas, Thomas, cheers. No worries. Greetings to Greece. Antor from not sure where. And of course, we have also Yada Horak from Czech Republic in the house. So we've got some compatriot, someone who is from the same country as me. Yada, you are a legend. Hello, P-Man to Iran. Greetings to Iran. And we've got another person joining in, Mahtab to 2020 from Germany. Antor is from Bangladesh. So greetings to Bangladesh. And then we have someone from Vietnam, I guess, based on the name. So hello, greetings to Vietnam, Southeast Asia. And Sven thinks that my German pronunciation is good. Nein, is nicht so good. Nicht so good. I used to speak better German than English before I moved to Australia. So I've got a little bit of German in me, but I would have to move to Germany or Austria for a few years to pick it up again and start talking in German a little bit more fluent. Greetings to Ivan Zotov, to Russia. Я немножко говорю по-русски. Also, that's probably the only thing I can say in Russian. I used to study Russian 3 years in the elementary school, so again, there's a little bit of Russian in me too. And before we dive into it, greetings to Isa from Algeria. You love my videos. I love your comments. Okay, so it's both ways. If I don't hear comments, likes, I don't really know what do you like. So if you like the videos, of course, hitting the like button helps a lot. Subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss the next uploads and the next live broadcast. And greetings to Ziel as well. Hello. Greetings. Okay, so today's broadcast is gonna be probably in half an hour. We will break down 2 websites. We will look at 2 award-winning websites, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the practical GreenSock, about the new courses that went live last week. But the first one, we will have a look at 2 award-winning websites. Before I switch to the browser, let's greet another fan from India. Greetings to India. Looks like I've got a big fan club in India. I have to go and visit one day. Thank you very much. Big fan of your work with GSub. Thank you very much. Legend. I love using GreenSock, you know it. I'm a big fan of it. It helps me to stay focused on the creative coding and don't worry about the browser compatibility. I can just turn the idea into something that looks good in the browser. Okay, so GreenSock definitely a tool for that. And the 2 websites that we will be looking at today, both of them using GreenSock, and you know that most of the award-winning websites these days, they use GreenSock to add some interactivity to the project and make some nice animations. Okay, so that's enough from me. If you are tuning in for the first time, let me introduce myself as well. Maybe you tuned in a little bit later. My name is Peter. I'm the guy behind this Ihatetomatoes channel and Ihatetomatoes blog. Okay, now let's go to the meat of the broadcast, and let me know in the comments if you will have any questions during it. I will then come back and answer it as well. So I'm encouraging you at any point, if you have a question, just pop it in the chat. I'll try to skim through it and answer them as well. Okay, so let's switch to my browser. Hopefully you can still hear me. That's good. And yeah, someone just gave it a like. So at any moment, of course, if you feel generous, hit the like button. And we'll go now to the website. The first website we want to look at is Yolele. Yolele. It's a website of the day from a few days ago, 25th August, 2 days ago. Yolele, made by Adoratorio from Italy. Cool website. Simple website that is promoting African food, revolutionary African food, Yolele. And there is a cool effect on the front page. Straight away, the hero image is attached to a scroll event. So as you scroll down the page, you are rotating the hero images of the products, which is a cool effect, and I think very nice way how to showcase straight away what do you have to offer. Really, really good. Okay. Shopify in the backend. Yes, Thomas is saying Shopify in the backend. I think part of the site are pulling data from WordPress as well. And yes, the shopping cart is done using Shopify. Then people actually ask me, can you implement Greensock into Shopify? And I did answer that I think so, because I used to work with it and I know it's using some liquid in terms of the HTML templating system. And there's no reason why you can't access or why you can't add third-party libraries into Shopify themes. And this is example exactly for that. Okay, so interactivity you can add with Greensock even to Shopify e-commerce sites. The only thing is that there is no scroll bar, and somehow it becomes a little bit scroll down, scroll to discover, and I would feel like, where is more content, even if I'm at the end. So not sure if the message is the correct one or if it's not confusing, but definitely cool effect how the products are rotating, and when you rotate away, the distance between them increases as well. So it feels very good when you scroll down, and also on a mobile, which I'll get to mobile implementation a little bit later. The same effect is implemented on mobile. Okay, so that's the intro. And if I click on any of the details, any of the products, we see this cool brush over it, and that's really very cool effect. Let's go back to the homepage and we'll see it again. So of course, me being curious, I try to figure out how is that created. Is there a canvas? Is there a video playing on top of it? And the truth is that there is actually a PNG. There is a div with PNG and animation. CSS animation makes this brush off the current page, then show the other page underneath and reveal it again. Okay, so here is the PNG that the site is using to create this transition. There is 42 frames, and the CSS animation is using the steps, CSS steps animation, so 43 or 42, I don't know exactly how many, and moving it always frame by frame. So visually it appears that there is a brush actually brushing over. Okay, so let's go back to the home page and you'll see that it's a nice sequence, definitely cool effect, and creative way of how to use CSS animation together with the interactivity of reloading the page, not reloading the page, but bringing extra content from the other page. Okay, so some transitions, some page transitions can be done using CSS. Okay, so it is actually, Thomas is saying PNG sequence. It's not really a sequence, unless you mean the sequence of images. It's more like a sprite. It's a sprite of images, and obviously one sprite, one part of the sprite is one screenshot or one viewport, and then as you move it frame by frame, the illusion becomes the brushing. Okay, so very cool effect. I'm sure you could do the same thing if you are creative enough in your Photoshop or in any other design tool that can create sprites like this. and then you just export them next to each other and reveal them using the CSS animation. Okay, so very cool page transition. I'm not sure what is used to do the page transition itself, but the image is doing the visual effect. Okay, so this is the main menu, which to me, maybe it's the screen size I'm looking at. It's not really clear of what is the main logo, what is the is the recipes block 1 or not. Until you hover over, it feels like a bunch of links, bunch of text, but press contact, is it 1 or 2? It's a little bit hard to separate some of the links, and also the products are highlighted. Maybe that's intentional, just to say, hey, here are our products, go get them. Okay, so there is a little different font sizes between the items, and products is the biggest one. Okay, so that's cool. Thomas got a questions. How do they stop the animation for the loading of the next page? How do they stop it? Okay, so I think what they do is they show a div that has this PNG as a background. They do the animation and then they hide it. Okay, so the transition div is not on the page while it's transitioning. It's only during the transition it's on it, but not constantly. So if I search the DOM now, there is no transition div. Okay, so only when you're transitioning between pages, div shows up, has the CSS animation on it, moves it away, and then disappears. Then it's again removed from the DOM. Okay, so that's how most of these page transition libraries work. They let you hook into, they call it life cycles, and when you enter, first one is the leave, which lets you do anything in the DOM with the page that is currently leaving. And then there is an enter lifecycle that lets you do again any animation when the next page is coming in. Okay, so there are these lifecycle methods in most of the page transition libraries like Barba.js or Highway.js, and I'm sure that this is hooking into some of them as well. Okay, so as I said, this is Shopify page. Simple dark and colored colors are used. Just simple CSS. The second child variable or second child selector is alternate, has the red color, otherwise it's black. Simple use of that. Then there is this slider. I think this might be using GreenSock as well, or Hammer.js, just to make it also touch swipeable on mobile. So there is a Hammer.js in action. And let's go down. I think there was a link to view all products that has a nice sort of swoosh pencil around it, and that's using SVG animation, just using a stroke dash offset and animating the line to be invisible and then again visible. Okay, so very cool, simple, cartoony, sort of playful site. The other thing that if you are looking at the site on your own computer, there is also a little grained background. Okay, it's not a flat color. There is some background which is not flat color. And if we look at the DOM, you'll see that at the bottom is a canvas with a noise. Oops, let's move it away. The canvas is where the animation happens. Okay, there is a background image noise, and some animations on canvas makes it look a little grainy. Okay, like an old movie. So this is using canvas. Not sure what they use to draw on the canvas or project the image on the canvas, but that's how the grainy background is created. And let's go again. Shopping cart, as I said, it's using Shopify, and I see sometimes people using GreenSock for showing and hiding sidebars and docs like this, and I don't think it's the best way to leverage GreenSock. GreenSock is great when you have multiple things happening in sequence and more for storytelling websites, and this side actually using simple CSS3 transition for the sidebar. Okay, so don't try to use GreenSock or JavaScript animations for everything. I think there is nothing wrong with having CSS animation at the right time and JavaScript animation at the right time too. Okay, so this is using purely CSS animation. And I think one thing that is very popular these days is, let's go back to the home page, is the following cursor, the cursor that follows the mouse. That's very trendy these days. Most of the sites have some sort of cursor interaction, changing cursor based on what you're hovering over. And here it is following the mouse as well. Okay, so this was the first site of the day that we looked at, Yolele, and we've landed. You can create page transitions by having a big PNG and using the CSS animation and show it frame by frame to create some optical illusion that brush is swiping through the screen. Okay, so that was the first site. Let's go back to the main screen. Okay, I'll go through some of the comments as well. Hello to Max Programming. Yes, I do hate tomatoes. Good question. Yes, I do hate tomatoes with a passion. Okay, I love front-end development as much as I hate tomatoes, and I love your comments as well. Thanks, Max. Question from Sven reminds me of times when all interface icons were collected in one sprite and you had to mess around with background positions. Yes, that's the same principle, but this time it's only one row of icons or sprites moved. We're using the step one. Yes, you're right. A couple of years ago was very trendy to put everything in one big sprite and then move around, crop it, and just scale it up using CSS. And I think the days are gone. I don't see it used much these days, but yes, I know what you're referring to. The animation will just finish without the page being loaded. I know what you mean, Thomas. I didn't actually see that happening. Okay, so if I go again back to, I think Thomas is referring to when you show the overlay, the animation happens because the CSS transition or animation has duration on it. And that's actually a good question. When does it stop the animation? Okay, maybe maybe it's not waiting for it. Maybe it's just expecting the next page to load pretty fast because you could see the page being revealed underneath. Okay, so yeah, I don't think it's waiting for the other page to show up. So I know what you mean, Thomas. Exactly, the CSS animation being not in sync of how long the next page takes to load. Okay, so curious. I don't know. This is we just exploring site, so I don't have the answers. Would be good to have a Yolele developers in the house to answer some of these questions. Okay, question from Ivan. Oops, I'll change to the big screen again. Ivan, greetings to Russia. Your favorite lib.js. I like GreenSock for animations and transitions and interactivity. And I'm a React guy, so I prefer React for the front end, for the interactive and quick front end UI. So React is my library of choice. Florent is in the house. Greetings to France, my friend. Good morning. Maybe they control the speed of the transition based on the loading progress. Maybe that's another good suggestion. Maybe they have an variable in the JavaScript that gets updated, and based on that, different frame of the animation is showing up. That's a great suggestion, Florent. Maybe that's how they do it, but that's another way to hook into the JavaScript progress of loading the next page, update the CSS variable, then talks to the style sheet, and based on that, it could trigger different frame. Not sure, maybe. So Florent, thanks for the clarifying. Okay, good to see you on the broadcast. It's early in the morning. I know it's early in the morning for you. I know you a little bit lazy. You like to sleep in a little bit. Alrighty, so let's go to the next. If there is not any other questions to this? If not, just one round of likes for the video, and we're gonna get to the second deconstructions very, very quickly. Alrighty, let's get to it. Second interactive deconstruction today will be a cool website of the day. Ali from ExoApe team from Netherlands. Cool website, simple website made by the guys from Netherlands. Where are some images? Here it is. Very cool site. Credit goes to the ExoApe team. Robert, Ronald, and Rob. All three starting with R. That's the team behind the ExoApe team and behind this cool website. Ali is a website of, it's a commercial director portfolio, TV commercial portfolio. And it's very simple actually. If I refresh the page, we'll see the grain background. I actually like the grain background, and the text is revealing from masking away. But the main thing, the first thing that I wanted to look at is how was the grain background created. As you could see in the other example, there was also grain background, and that was created using PNG on canvas. This one is actually using CSS. Again, the stop animation. And let's scroll up to the main. Inside of the main is a before pseudo element that has a noise transparent PNG, 100 pixels by 100 pixels image. And there is an animation that moves this to a different position. Okay, again, it's using steps, and over the duration of 1 second, it moves this to different positions, and that creates the illusion of this dust or grainy background like old movies. Okay. Oh yeah, Thomas saying Rob Smittenaar developed it. They have the source map visible, and you can see a lots of the JS source code. Okay, cool. Looks like you know Rob, which is fantastic. I know him a little bit too, and which is clever use of PNG to use just the 2 steps in the CSS animation to move it around, creates this cool effect. So you don't need a canvas for it. This is another way how you do the same effect. Okay. And if we change actually the image, let's play with it for a bit. Let's change the image to a star, but don't look now if you don't like big animations. Here it is. Here is the star, and if I slow it down or pause it at all, you see how it animates to different positions, and obviously the star is a little bit more obvious what's happening. The grain, the dust background wasn't clear what's happening. Okay, so if I play it again, you'll see that the star is moving to different positions, and that's how the illusion of dust is happening. Also, you can see that the dust is sitting on top of the text. So if you scroll down to the page, you'll see that the images or the portfolio, the commercials, have also the grainy background on top of it. Okay, so I'll refresh the page to get rid of the ugly star. And this side is using smooth scroll bar, or not smooth scroll bar, but smooth scrolling. It's using the visual scroll, and there is the grainy background on top of these commercials as well. Okay, so very cool effect of how to overlay this grainy, especially for someone who is presenting movies. I think it's a very, very good use of that. There is a simple hover effect for the commercials when it follows your mouse. Very cool, very trendy these days as well. And all the commercials are fading in and sliding up as you scroll down the page. And there is one favorite, my favorite commercial. I'll just have to mute the site. I'm gonna play it now. And it's not about me giving the commercial to this, but I was laughing when I was watching this, especially on Ihatetomatoes channel. I think this is in place. This is in this is definitely something that I was looking at and I was laughing. Okay, as you know, I hate tomatoes, and this commercial does exactly the opposite, attacking rotten tomatoes. Very, very cool. The cool bit on this, if I pause it, is that you can click to go back to the overview of the project, or you can scroll down or click on the info to bring the next slide with more information about the commercial, who built it, for who, and a little bit of description. Okay, the only thing I wasn't sure is that I can actually scroll to it. I was only clicking to it, and when you click, oops, can I click on it? Somehow, sometimes it wasn't obvious that I can just scroll back up. Okay, I didn't initially. I was clicking on it, and when you click on it, I thought it was closing it. Before it was closing and going back to the project. So it wasn't really obvious that you can scroll down to more info and then scroll back up to again see the commercial. Okay, so but very cool, very cool effect. And the best part of this website for me was also there is other effects like this text revealing again from not being visible, and then each line by line they revealing the text, which is using the split text plugin from GreenSock, or you can use another open source library. I think it's called splitting.js that lets you also do some of these crazy line text revealing. And definitely the best part of this site is the transition between work and bio, where the Ali, the name of the commercial director, is changing from the dark to white in this cool interactive way. Oops, now it didn't load properly, but I'm not sure why. Usually it's nice and smooth when you go from the dark to background, so, dark to the light. Okay, very cool effect. I like that effect because it's very big contrast between light and dark, and the name also moves from one side to the other and intersects in the middle, which is very cool effect. Okay, so a little bit of parallax as you scroll down, things moving at different speeds. The text is revealing at different speeds as well, or when it comes line by line. Again, that's using GreenSock split text plugin probably to slice it up into diffs or spans and then animating it up. Okay, so there's a lot of these effects on the side. Cool effect, side with cool effects all over it, and that's why it deserved and won the website of the day. Okay, so well done to the Exo Ape team. Any questions? Any questions to the Exo Ape Ali 2times.com? Also, if you just tuned in, I'll say my name for the third time just to make sure everyone knows who they're talking to. My name is Peter. I'm the guy behind the Ihatetomatoes channel and Ihatetomatoes website and a blog where I write tutorials about front-end development and creative front-end development in general. Okay. Someone's asking, is a thing in Spain, they have a festival where they throw tomatoes. It's called La Tomatina. La Tomatina, Sven, that might be my next holidays. Okay, I might go to Spain just to watch, just to watch. I'm not gonna participate. I'm gonna watch from distance, and I'm gonna proudly wear my I Hate Tomatoes t-shirt. I don't think I would be very welcome there. Okay, it looks like La Tomatina is more for people who love tomatoes or love to smash it onto someone. So yeah, definitely not a destination for me. I would prefer to go somewhere where it's nice and warm, and especially now when in Melbourne we have a pretty cold days these days, and I can't wait for the spring to come and summer. You are on the other side of the world and it's much warmer for you, so I'm a little bit envy your weather. Okay, so that were the two deconstructions. Looks like questions not coming up. And the third part of this broadcast will be that I'll show you the initial video from the Practical Greensock, which is the bundle of Greensock series, the series of tutorials that I released last week. And now I will play the video. Just warning you that this video is pre-recorded, so it's not going to be me talking live, and the audio might be a little bit off. Okay, so just put your mouse or cursor on the volume, just so if it's a little bit different than me talking live, it might be a little bit different. Okay, so I'm starting the video and then I'll take any questions and I'll answer them after that video. It's about 5 minutes and then we'll talk after. Hello and welcome to Bella, to a series of GreenSock and scroll trigger tutorials where we will use vanilla JavaScript to build some cool animations and interactive effects. My name is Peter and I'll be the instructor in this online course. The inspiration for all our demos comes from stocktouchdesign.com. Exoape is the original creator of this website, and special thanks goes to Rob Smittenar, Robert Sheffman, and Ronald Giazan. I'm sure I did not make and pronounce these names correctly, but these are this is the team. This is the original team behind stocktouchdesign.com, and we got permission to use and create Bella based on their website. Okay, the other credit goes to Randy Fett from Unsplash, and his images were used in all of our demos. This course is purely focusing on GSUB, scroll trigger, and vanilla JavaScript, and we'll be starting, when you download the starting files, you'll see that there is a couple folders and each of them has already HTML pre-built. Okay, so we don't start from scratch, we don't do too much of the HTML that's already been pre-built. And for that, we will speed up and actually focus purely on JavaScript. So my assumption is that you already know HTML and CSS quite well, and you can build simple responsive websites without any issues. And in this course, we purely focus on the interactive parts with GreenSock, scroll trigger, and vanilla JavaScript. The first module, the intro, navigation, and header, will be all created in the full page. And as I said, there is already HTML created, JavaScript's over here, where we simply have the window add event listener load, which waits for all the images and page to be loaded, and then we will start coding inside of the init function. Okay, so that's why we starting every of these demos with the window add event listener load, and that's where we will be writing all our JavaScript. I recommend going through the course from start to finish, but if you decide to jump to reveal gallery, no problem. Reveal gallery will be done in the 0 to reveal gallery folder, and again there is no JavaScript at all, and you can start straight away from here. Okay, my recommendation, as I mentioned, is to go from start to finish, but I know everyone learns different way. Everyone is here for a different reason, so feel free to jump around to the individual modules. One thing on the portfolio and parallax images, actually portfolio is fine, you can jump and learn just that in the portfolio hover. Module 4 and 5 are a little bit unique. We are firstly creating images, parallax images, and the fixed navigation, and that links to smooth scrolling. Okay, so if you jump straight to smooth scrolling, you'll see some JavaScript already in. We already have some scroll triggers and animations that were created in the module 4. Okay, so just don't freak out when you jump straight to smooth scrolling. There's already some code which we've built in the previous section. Okay, it links together because once you see how these effects work and how can you smooth them out using GSUB or smooth scroll bar, it definitely links all together. Module 6, the loading animation will be created in the 05 intro animation. Again, this folder is completely fresh, so you can jump straight to it if you want to, and we will be building on top of that inside of the page transitions. But again, you can jump straight to page transitions if you like the challenge. And then at the end, we'll put it all together in the final overview, and I'll give you the final files at the end. Here I have the 06 full page final folder open, and I'll be using Live Server to preview any of the demos. So at the start of each module, just open the relevant folder, right click and click Open with Live Server. This will load the page in the browser and we can start working. As I said, here are the final files with the hover effect on our navigation links, hover tilt effect on the header, and when we scroll down, we have the smooth scrolling enabled. Then we have the section for the revealing. Next section is the portfolio hover, where we animating the images as we move through the links. Parallax images on some of the sections or most of the sections. Then we fixing the right hand side navigation at the right time, changing the background color, scrolling to the relevant position on the page 2. And at the end, we are unpinning the navigation and revealing the rest of the page. Okay, so this is the final demo when it's all put together. And we've also added some page transitions. So if I go all the way to the top and click on portfolio, we should see a page transition to next page and back to the first page. Okay, so that's how this animation works. That's how this page works. I'm sure you will learn a lot. I'm sure you are excited to build some of these effects, and I will see you in the next video. Alrighty, so that was the video, the first video from the course, from the practical Greensock. And I wanted to obviously share it with you so you know what you get when you sign up, if you sign up, or if you know anyone who is trying to learn Greensock and JavaScript animations, then definitely this bundle is for you. And this was the first video from Bella, which is one of the 3 projects that you learn inside of practical Greensock. Okay, so I will leave link under the video to the course and to the bundle itself. And I'm not gonna try to hard sell you this course. You might not be interested, but you might know someone, some designer that will want to create some of these cool animations. And maybe he's working with the design or developer who doesn't know how to create it. Then definitely this course is for him. So make sure you spread the word about practical Greensock. It has a bundle of 3 projects. One is Bella. One is the pen reveal, where we use scroll trigger to creatively reveal a pen animation. And then there is a slider, which uses a lot of GSUP, little small and bits and pieces of the utilities. So it's not just a default slider. There is a lot of learning in it as well. Okay, the best way to find out what is the course about is watch some of the preview videos as well, and the breakdowns on the page. Okay, or read what others think about it. Okay, there are people inside of the courses already, and they like it. At the bottom of each of the pages is the reviews. So I'll go to the reviews. Definitely, if you're not sure, check out the reviews of people who went through it. Very good insights of what you can expect, and I'm 100% honest. Don't sign up for Vue.js, React.js. It's very clear that this is just a static HTML, pure JavaScript, and no other libraries. Okay, one thing is that I wanted to mention is the launch bonuses, that in a day, if you sign up in the next day, there are launch bonuses which include the private student community where you can ask me any questions, you can ask others questions, you can connect with other creative front-end developers, and you also get a coupon for 40% of Greensock Club membership, which 40% of Greensock Club is not a coupon that you find just anywhere. Okay, so it's a very special coupon, and I'm very privileged to be able to bundle it with my courses. So thanks for the Greensock team for this. And there is also a coupon for Creative Coding Club by Carl Scheff, where you can also learn how to create cool animations with Greensock and scroll trigger. Okay, so 3 cool bonuses. They expire tomorrow. And if you, as I said, if you know someone who is into learning Greensock and scrolling animations, then send him to the practical Greensock, and he can learn how to create 3 interactive projects using GSUP and scroll trigger. Okay, so that's all I had for you. Any questions before we wrap it up? Someone just liked the video. You are a legend. You just made my day. As I mentioned, I've got 7 o'clock, 10 past 7 in the afternoon or in the evening, and I'm gonna spend the evening with the kids, maybe some movie night. Wrap up the day. Greetings to Gerald Nako from Albania. Greetings, Gerald. I think you signed up. Gerald Nako. The name rings the bell. Thanks a lot for watching, Florian, Florent, anyone who signed up, anyone who is in the house. I think I missed some questions. Sertak Dentoya is asking, can you talk about the Ali uses a mask Uses mask. Not sure which part of the side do you mean when the text is revealing from being masked away and then comes in. There's a container that wraps the text. The text is moved away and then moves up into a view. So that's sort of masking that people know from After Effects and other masking animations or video platforms where After Effects, and there is the DaVinci where you can create as well. Okay, let's go. Okay, so it is you. Thanks, Gerald. Greetings to Albania. And thanks for signing up. You legend. I recognize the name and I was like, is it really Gerald who signed up? So yes, there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. Did you say we might get some enrollment if we bought Scroll Magic course? Scroll Trigger trumps Magic all day. Ben Fitzgerald. Ben, great question. So yes, you are getting the 3 in Practical Greensock are 3 projects. You are getting the first 2, which is the slider and project pen reveal. So if I switch back to my browser, you are getting the pen automatically. If you log into my site, you already have the project slider and you already have the pen reveal in your cart, okay, in your account. So the only thing missing to get the Practical Greensock bundle completed would be the Bella. Okay, so that's how these 2 projects were automatically given to anyone who ever purchased any of my past online courses, being it Parallax, Scrolling Masterclass, Scroller Workshop, any other paid courses on my site. If you've ever purchased any of them, then these 2 are already in your account. You don't have to do anything, just log in and go through them, okay? And Bella is then available if you want to upgrade to it as well. And you can get the cool bonuses if you sign up within the next 24 hours. I think it is still, oops, let's go to the timer. It is 1 day and 45 minutes, okay? Someone first time here. I'm here first time, not the last for sure. Cemetery, greetings. Thank you very much for the support. And also just go back to Ben's question. Yes, if you got Scroll Magic course, you get these first 2 parts. I've already answered that. Scroll Trigger trumps Magic all day. Yes, that's exactly why I don't support anymore any of my Scroll Magic courses. It's all Scroll Trigger. Scroll Trigger is the way to create some cool interactive animations these days with Greensock. Falls into the same ecosystem of plugins. So definitely Scroll Trigger is the way to go. Okay, Christian, greetings. Christian Lorente, greetings. Ben Fitzgerald, you are a legend. Not me, you are a legend. Thank you. Do you use any building tools like Webpack, Parcel Gulp on your courses? No, I didn't include anything just because I wanted to streamline any setup and just dive straight into the code. Okay, so we're starting with purely HTML already built. We only tweak some CSS along the way, add few divs, but it's purely focusing on JavaScript and the interactivity. So we don't do any Webpack, Parcel Gulp just because I wanted to limit any setups for people, anything that could break, and we purely focus on the JavaScript. Okay, so to answer your question, Thomas, we don't use any build tools, just to simplify the setup and just to go straight into the GSub meat. Okay, so that's the question. Sven, thank you for adding those to existing customers' accounts. No worries, you're welcome. No worries, Tom. Hopefully that makes it clear. Okay, if there is not any other questions, thank you very much for tuning in. Last round of likes just on the video. You made my day. And as I said, if you know someone who is interested in learning Greensock, Practical Greensock is the way to go. And if you've already purchased some of my courses, just get Bella and get some of these cool bonuses. Okay, I will wrap it up here. It's a little bit longer than I planned. I thought we will wrap it up in half an hour. It was great chat, 45 minutes. Thanks for tuning in. Thomas, You were the first one in, and you're the last one out. Okay, so that's what I call support. You spend 1 hour here with me. Hopefully your boss is not upset that you took 1 hour of your day and you watching cool live stream on the side. Someone actually mentioned that he's streaming it or he's watching it while his lecture's going on the other screen. Who was it? I have to find it. Here it is. Durval Raval. I'm watching this stream while my online lectures are parallelly running by the side. Hopefully you muted your lectures and you put this on loudspeaker in the headphones. Okay. That's a great dedication. Okay, there was actually one question or one suggestion from Pavan, deconstruction of Kuberto website. I wrote it down. Okay, Kuberto. Yeah, don't worry. Hard to zoom on it, but yes, I did write it down and I'll have a look at it. If it's worth checking out, I'll definitely add it to my growing list. I'm not spamming. Love your work and learn so much from you. Q2 designer. Thank you. That's another spamming comment. You can leave that any moment. And I will wrap it up here. Thanks, Thomas. Thank you, Zel. Greetings to Indonesia, Singapore. Yep. Greetings. Thanks, everyone. And I'll catch you in my future videos. Until then, happy coding. Create something awesome. Create something that you're proud of. And I'll speak to you in my next videos.